conflict between Tibet and China is rooted in differing views on Tibet's historical status and the legitimacy of China's control over the region. Here's a breakdown of the key causes. 1. Historical claims and sovereignty. China's view. China asserts that Tibet has been part of its territory for centuries, dating back to the Yuan dynasty in the 13th century. They see their current control as a reunification of historically Chinese lands. Tibet's view, and that of the Tibetan government in exile. Tibetans argue that for much of its history, Tibet was an independent nation. They point to periods where Tibet governed itself without Chinese interference, particularly between the fall of the Qing dynasty in 1912 and China's invasion in 1950. They consider China's presence and occupation. 2. China's annexation in 1950-51. In 1950, the People's Liberation Army of the newly established People's Republic of China entered Tibet. In 1951, the Tibetan government was compelled to sign the 17-point agreement for the peaceful liberation of Tibet, which established Chinese sovereignty over Tibet, while ostensibly guaranteeing Tibetan autonomy. Tibetans, including the Dalai Lama, consider this agreement to have been signed under duress and invalid. 3. Cultural and religious suppression. Many Tibetans feel that China's policies aim to sinicize Tibet, eroding its unique Buddhist culture, language, and traditions. Restrictions on religious practices, the destruction of monasteries during the Cultural Revolution, and tight control over religious figures like the Dalai Lama are major points of contention. 4. Political autonomy. While China recognizes the Tibet Autonomous Region, TAR, Tibetans argue that this autonomy is largely nominal. Real power resides with the Chinese Communist Party, and Tibetans have limited say in their governance. The exile of the Dalai Lama in 1959, following a failed uprising against Chinese rule, and the continued absence of their spiritual leader, is a significant grievance. In summary, the core of the conflict lies in China's claim of sovereignty over Tibet versus the Tibetan desire for independence or genuine autonomy, compounded by concerns over cultural and religious preservation. The issue remains highly sensitive, with the international community holding varying perspectives on the legitimacy of China's control and the human rights situation in Tibet.